maybe not.
Hello and welcome back to 90's Mags.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Your podcast for all things Newcastle United. Sorry about that, people. We've hope you can see us now, but we've had a few technical difficulties starting the show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We promise this won't happen again. But yeah, we're joined by Kante and Win. But first of all, Jefferson, how you doing, my friend?
Well, I've just been held through the twilight zone, but yeah, now I'm here, man. And of course, cheery that we got the 3 points this weekend, so that always makes you feel that little bit better, dare I say.
Indeed. Win, how you doing? So I don't know how long you're going to be around, but are you good?
Yeah, I tell you what I'm going, because I'm still looking. I'm trying to watch it on YouTube right now.
Is it still not coming up?
And it's still not coming. And the fact that we can't get the comments, we can't get the comments in the.
Oh, you can't make this thing up.
Are you still there, Chris?
Oh, yeah, we got a little top. We got a podcast top. Hold tight,
top of the league. Yeah, we do.
Thank you for that. Well, we don't care about your top of the league, but thanks for the comment. Yeah, I think that's cow, should I say?
Well, that's
big up.
Well, wait a minute, I'll refresh.
Can they see us though?
Let me ask, Cav, can you see this on YouTube? Just put a thumbs up on the
live. It's not live on my YouTube, but never mind. Go on.
Yeah, it's not live. They said no. They can't see us. Adrian just said no.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't know what's going on then.
That makes 4 of us.
Oh no, Cav said he can see us. He can see us on YouTube.
Okay. Well.
So
but then I must admit,
just pretend they can't. Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, they can see us. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
That's so weird.
Like we said, I had a few technical difficulties. Hopefully, it doesn't happen again. Thanks for confirming, Liam. And
thanks, Liam.
But yeah,
cheers, Lee.
We got Kante in the building, our resident Fulham fan. How you doing, sir?
Yeah, all good, man. Minus Fulham, of course, which I'm falling out of love with the game. But it's all right. Life is all right.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you on, man. Glad to have been a while, man. Been a while. We've got a lot to get through.
Yeah, man.
A lot to get through. But yeah, but like I said, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We're here to review the last game, the Newcastle versus Fulham game.
Yep.
Yeah. We ain't used to this, man. We're not used to this. Apologies.
That brings back some memories. That's a heck of a comment, that is.
It finished Newcastle 2, Fulham 1 from St. James's Park. We got the win. Not the most convincing of performances, but 3 vital points. I'm going to start with you, Jefferson. Overall thoughts on the game?
I think the win is the main thing. I think it reminded me a little bit of, last season where we were ugly, and we were winning ugly and getting those positive results in. Took me back to that. I think if you look at it in the larger scheme of things, we needed those points. So it puts us on a good trajectory. I was really happy with some performances for sure. So I think there are some positives to take from it. But yeah, happy as well to see Asula at the end make that impact. We're seeing growth from certain players as well, which is positive. I just hope this is the start of something. Obviously, that's separate competitions, but back-to-back wins. We said that those 3 fixtures were going to be really important, so we just need to keep on now. But yeah, you look at the likes of someone like Tia, man, he's a Rolls Royce, isn't he? So yeah, happy with that.
Big up Mikey P said, I've been chasing you around YouTube to find you, man. Appreciate it. We've been chasing ourselves, bro. Believe me, bro. It ain't been easy. But I appreciate it. You said, salute. Liam said, 4 or 5 great chances buried in a different game. Interesting. And Alfie, this is for you, Kante. Oh, Alfie.
Oh.
You got a fan there, mate. You got a fan.
Yeah. They already started, aren't they? So prepare for it.
It is what it is. But before we get to you, Kante, Wim, what are your overall thoughts on the game itself?
Well, strangely, I came away from the game never disappointed when we get 3 points, but disappointed with the performance. And I've since looked at the match, probably highlights half a dozen times, 90 minutes twice. And it would not have been wrong for that scoreline to have been something like 5-1, 5-2. So if we'd played exactly the same way we've played, but won 5-1, 5-2, everyone would have been over the moon. The fact that we didn't put away our chances meant that, me included, concentrated on what we did poorly. But the fact is that despite everything that we did poorly, we created, half a dozen clear-cut, potable chances. Bruno's header, Voltemada's shot in the first 2 minutes. We had if you remember the Brentford game last season and the Palace game last season, when Tonali scored from that oblique angle with the outside of his right foot, exact same thing yesterday, tried it, and so did Jacob Murphy, who did the same 2 games later against Palace. He went for it and he hit the post. So you've got all those chances, and I came away, which is very unusual for me, kind of disappointed. But when you actually look back on it, despite playing not particularly well, we could have walked that game and it would have been a completely different way that everybody's looking at it. Instead of thinking like, we got out of jail. Because we didn't get out of jail.
Okay.
We kind of did at the finish, yes, but
Overall, you're saying...
if you take the 90 minutes, the overall, we created way enough chances to have won that game comfortably.
Okay, well, I agree. Listen, it's a good 3 points. Not so much the performance, but we've struggled against Fulham. They did a double against us last season, and even when Murphy scored, I had visions of last season when we took the lead through Murphy goal, and then they came back and beat us 2-1.
Again, the Murphy one that he didn't score
Well,
was even easier than the one he did score.
We'll get to that as well. But like I said, I think we deserve to win. Don't get me wrong. I think we were the better team. Both teams were pretty awful in the end in terms of performance-wise. But like I said, we created enough chances to deserve to win that game comfortably. But it wasn't to be. Kante, what were your overall thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I thought Fulham were rubbish, to be fair. For minute 1, minute 25, we looked okay in parts. I think Jimenez had a chance early on. I think where I think he sent, I don't know what centre back it was, but I think it might have been Botman actually. He rounded Botman, tried to place it bottom left corner, just went wide. Apart from that, in the first half, we didn't really create much. But again, when we do create, we're very readable. Everyone knows what we're going to do. Try to get it out wide to the wingers and they'll cross it into Jimenez, which you lot dealt with very well. So, yeah, I thought, Fulham fans online will say that we deserve more out the game. But if you actually watch the game, then Newcastle deserve to win. They deserve to win 3-4-0, maybe even 4-1 if you count the goal Lukic scored. But minus the goal, I thought it was a very poor performance from my team anyway.
Okay.
Hang on, are you Fulham's Jeffo?
He might as well be.
I've been called up before.
Mr. Glass half empty. You came up there with an absolutely injury crippled squad.
Yeah.
And you've gone away with a 2-1. I mean, you're right what you're saying in a way that it could have been more, but it wasn't because of what you did. So if I were a Fulham fan, having watched that, I'd be thinking, when you think of, because for me, you're most Anthony Robinson, you're key to everything Fulham does, I think.
Where is he? He's injured.
Oh, yeah, he's injured. But
injured, yeah.
Here we
For
go.
you to be without him is like us being without Tenali, which we
To,
were,
to,
by
to,
the way.
to be fair, Win, I don't even think we lost the game 2-1 because of what we did. I think we only lost the game 2-1 because of how many chances you lot missed. You think back at the
Yeah.
Murphy one where he should have slotted it past Leno. That's a third goal. Bruno G's header, in the box, open header, free header, back post misses. That's 4-1. So I think minus the Lucas chance, we didn't really create anything, and that's truth. We didn't create anything.
Let me just give a shout out to some of these people. Big up Big Yinks in the building. Kim Cam, good evening to all. Big up Kim Cam. We got Gary in the building. Gary says, think the game versus Fulham showed the hunger to go to the end. That's what all the top teams do. Just need to get better at holding on to the ball, which
Big
we'll
up,
talk
Gary.
about as
Big
well.
up. Big up Kim Cam too as well.
Big up Bulky said, how many injuries did Fulham have? We struggled against their second team.
Man, love Pokey.
Interesting. Chris says, now you're Fulham happy clapper too, he said.
Stone cold. Stone cold.
Alfie said, Bassie's the worst centre back I've ever seen. Listen, Bassie had an off day in it. He had an off day.
He did.
He's not that bad. But he had
Two
an
really
off day.
bad errors.
Liam said the ref was awful in the ground.
And the
We
ref
could all
was
see the
awful.
pulling and grabbing, especially on Baltimore.
He was
But let's talk
roughed
about
up.
the lineups itself, Jefferson. What were your thoughts about the lineup?
What from our lineup?
Yeah, from our, we know Fulham were very injury hit, but for our lineup,
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I did have a slight. I mean, I was happy to see Miley in the team. I wasn't sure if he'd be tempted to bring Tonali and bring him back in, so it was good to see him there. I'm not sure if Ramsey could have had back-to-back games, but it would have been good to see the same midfield that played so well in midweek. And obviously, we talked about already that we wanted to see Murphy start the game, and I think it proved right. I think we know that's his birth. So I was happy to see him there. The one that worried me, of course, which has worried me most games, it was obviously Dan Burn, knowing that he was going up against Adama Traore. So, we know he's kind of not been at it this season, but he's still a threat with his pace. But that aside, I thought the lineup was good. It's just for me, Joe Linton, I'm not sure about him coming in, but some positives in there.
Okay. Win, thoughts on the lineup itself? Was it what you expected, or would you prefer see something different?
Well, I would have had Tonali in from the start. If he's fit, he's fit. If he's not, he's not. So I would have had him in from the start, and I would have had probably Miley in for J7. Let J7 get a bit more rest. In fact, I think I am very, very happy about these rumours that allegedly we are seriously interested in Wharton from Palace. And, much to Jeffo's chagrin, I would probably be happy to put Miley into that deal. So Miley to Palace and Wharton to us.
Really?
Come on, Win.
Nah, man. Just
Come
get
on, Win.
Nah,
Come on,
man.
Win.
Get
Come on,
Wharton
Win.
in, but Miley has to stay, man.
Yeah,
Miley's
yeah,
not too
so-
much.
If Miley stays at Newcastle, the same thing will happen to Miley as happened to
Anderson.
yeah, exactly. Elliot Anderson. He will not get the game time at Newcastle to progress. So what we do is we get Wharton for now. And he sticks in there, and then when J7 or Bruno or Tonali decides to go back to Italy, then we'll just go back. We'll have to pay more than we sold him for. The one thing I wouldn't do with Miley is sell him, transfer him without a buyback clause, a first option clause. But he ain't going to progress the way he can progress.
Wharton, for me, when Wharton won't progress either, because I think Eddie just struggles with technical players. I think obviously Tonali is the
Well,
outlier of that.
that's where we agree to differ.
Tonali is the outlier of that. However, Tonali also has a lot of athletic attributes, so that's what allows him to kind of flourish in our team. I think
And so does Wharton.
someone like a Baleba would fit better based on Eddie's style. Unfortunately,
All I ask about the lineup, guys. We're getting way off tangent here, bro.
The windows in January, man.
Get me? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about Wharton. He's not our player.
I've got to shoot off anyway. Thanks for having us on,
thanks,
lads.
Win.
See you later, Win, man. Appreciate that, mate.
Catch you later.
Good to have you. Take care.
Yeah, so listen, in terms of the lineup itself, yeah, it's good to see Miley start. I don't think it's good to see that Eddie's not so overly reliant on Tonali, if he's not 100% fit, but hopefully he's fit to start the next game. But yeah, in terms of everything else, I think he got everything else spot on. Obviously, Dan Bird at left back is a necessity at the moment because Lewis Hall is injured. But yeah, other than that, I think you got it pretty much spot on. Kante, I don't know, in terms of Fulham, you had all these injuries, so is there anything you want to see Marco Silva do differently?
I mean, well, of course, I'd love to see him do something differently, but that question can't really be asked because it will never happen, unfortunately. So I knew going into the game we'll play a 4-2-3-1, and I told Jefferson the exact lineup that would be put out, and Lord and behold, the exact 11 that I said would play actually played. We started the Dharma because you lot had Dan Burn at left back, and as I told Jefferson, the only two things that Adama's meant to be good at is running and using his strength. He can't do both. So that was a waste. Our best player on the pitch on the day, who I thought was the best player anyway, I'm not sure about you two, but I thought Kevin was the best player for us anyway on the pitch. Played 45 minutes. Just start him.
Yeah,
of course, Trippier is a good defensive right back. I'm not going to deny that. But the one thing Kevin brings you is athleticism. He wants to take people on. He wants to scare defenders. He doesn't mind having the ball and driving at people. If you're playing Iwobi left wing, you know what he's going to do. He's going to hold the ball up, find people in space like Smith Rowe. And, again, Iwobi's only there because he can play 90 minutes. We need to be, if we want to move forward as a team, I would have liked to see Kevin start. I also would have liked to see Josh King start as well. I think taking King out was a wrong decision. I know me and Jeff talked about it before the game, and we were talking about physicality. But if you look at the teams we've played this season, they've all been pretty physical, in my opinion. Arsenal, physical team. Man United, physical team in the midfield. And King started every game. So I don't know why you change it when King doesn't deserve to be dropped. But that was another weird one for me.
When I saw Kevin and King both on the bench, I thought, yeah, we're going to win this game. Like, it was a big... And even when Kevin came on, I thought, oh, God, here we go. It's going to be another one.
Yeah.
The subs changed the game. But, yeah, like you said, maybe could have done something different. Who knows?
And Bassi as well. I thought Quenker should have started because Quenker at Arsenal was our best defender, but he started Bassi. So, and we all know why we lost the game. Just look at the two mistakes Bassi did. I also say Leno cost us the game as well because... I mean, the second goal was poor from him. He palmed it right into Gamaris, but
some of these comments, Liam said, a win when not playing your best without Hall, Tino, Tonali, Ramsey and Vissa is better than playing well without the result. Players rested, move on to Spurs. Yeah, interesting. Hold tight, Connor. He said, was a poor, scrappy game. Both teams didn't play well. Yeah, interesting. Jeffo, Kevin Tor chips a new one. Leave Big Dan Burn alone. And Tonali, Liam said Tonali apparently said he wasn't 90-minute fit, still ill. Hopefully we could. He must have this bug that's going around, and apparently it's not a good one.
Nasty one, yeah.
Bro, I'm still chesty even now, and I think I've been in recovery for like nearly 3 weeks, man. It's not a nice one.
Mikey says we're missing our fullbacks big time. We play completely different with Tino and Hall in the side, but we won without them, so it's a good win. Yeah, good perspective. And we're talking on the what Win said. He just dropped the grenade and left. He said, "Get rid of Miley and keep Willock." You see the issue talking about football with Flynn.
Oh man!
However, Flynn said, "Get rid of Miley and keep Willock." You see No. Flynn said, "Sorry." Agreed with Win, Reed, Wharton, and Miley. So interesting.
If we play a 4 in midfield, it's a different prospect. I just think. From what I've seen of Eddie, he prefers players that are more raw and athletic, who can run, travel with the ball. But those kind of players, your Andersons, your Mileys, you just talked about your Whartons, they're more technical on the ball. So unless we play with a four in midfield, or well, dare I say, Eddie isn't at the helm anymore, then we can start looking at those players. But I think the hallmark is there for how we like to play with our three midfielders who are effectively all eights, just busting a gut up and down. I don't think Wharton fits into that style of play.
Okay, so PG he said Fulham was missing players like Robson, but we're missing Tino Livramento and Lewis Hall, and they both completely changed the way we play.
Yeah,
So he
that's
echoed some
fair.
thoughts
That's a
there.
fair comment. Yeah.
Otai Adrian said, "I'm sure Shola could be moved out to some cushy job in the PR department." But listen, let's get into the game itself, right? Because obviously we spoke about what's happened, but let's get into the nitty gritty. So obviously the game starts, and as usual, Newcastle start pretty well. I think Fulham had the first opportunity though, but the first real opportunity came from the free kick when Gordon was fouled, and then Trippier takes it, and Voltemada hits the post from 4 or 5 yards out. Right now, first of all, just in a word, was it unlucky or a bad miss, Jefferson?
I just think it's unlucky. I still think he struck it well. Obviously, it's from a close distance, so you do expect him to score. But sometimes they don't go in.
What about you, Kante? Unlucky or?
No, it's an awful miss. I think a striker of that quality should score, to be fair. So I thought Isak would have scored that, in my opinion.
There's no need to mention Isak, bruv. We don't need to argue about
Yeah,
Isak.
we don't talk about him in these
Don't worry
parts,
about that.
mate.
Don't worry about that. But however, with Voltemada, yeah, and someone else noticed it as well. Listen, hit the ground running, done really well, right? But there are opportunities in a few games where he's hitting the post or missing the target from very close range. Yeah, is that a concern, or am I nitpicking? Because if you look at his
Saying if he wants to persist with Burn, I think 3-4-2-1 could even work. But we need to see it. Unfortunately, the manager has been rigid, so until we actually see it, it's ifs and buts, isn't it? But I hope that's the case, because having Voltemada potentially as the 10, and then you have the double pivot of Tonali and Bruno, will give us a lot of balance, and then hopefully we'll get the best out of this. So I really hope that is the case.
Okay. Big up Marco, he said, surely Asula deserves a chance. He caused havoc again. And we'll talk about Asula as well. Good cameo when he came on, made a difference. Now, let's go to the goal itself. Obviously, it comes from a mistake from Bassi Kante, dilly-dallying on the ball. Good pressing from Jacob Murphy. He's gone through, obviously. When he's gone through, I thought he's gone a bit too wide, personally. And then, obviously, great finish, though, in the bottom corner off the post, making a difference as well. He's having a good start to the season, Jacob Murphy, carrying on where we left off from last season. But, Jefferson, what were your thoughts on the goal itself?
You just think, oh, what's he doing, man? I think we've talked about it before, isn't it, with Murphy? When he's got too much time to think, he tends to kind of just squander it. I think he is better playing on instinct. And so it almost looks like, hold on, you've taken this a bit too far wide here. You're now making it hard for yourself to get it in the corner. But actually, it's almost an expert finish, the way he manages to squeeze that in. So definitely commend the player. And also, he looks rapid when he's moving. Because I knew he was quick, but he looked very quick, like, once he breaks through.
Kante, what are your thoughts from your perspective?
I agree with what Jefferson said in terms of it's a very good finish from him, considering how far wide he was. Obviously, it looked like to me when I was watching the game, I thought he had initially the first touch I thought was decent, and then the second touch after that, I thought let him down a bit. But what annoyed me from a Fulham fan perspective is Leno's positioning. Now, if you look back at the first goal, Leno, he knows as a keeper, you know Murphy's only going to shoot one way. Because he's gone so far wide of that right post, yeah, it's very difficult to shoot near post and get it in. So you can only go across goal. And Leno moves to his near post and leaves the whole rest of the goal open. So it's a good finish. You still, let's commend the finish. It's a great finish, but it's so easy from a standpoint. And plus the Bassi mistake. If you're not sure where to go with it, either go back to the goalkeeper or just clear the ball. You don't have to dilly dally on the ball. And another thing with Bassi, he's normally quite quick as well, but running backwards, he looks so slow. And I don't know if that's because Murphy's quicker than him, but I don't really think he is. I think in my opinion, when I've seen Bassi defend one-on-one, he normally wins his battles. But against Jacob Murphy, they looked like I was running against Jeff on the Sunday. But it was just really poor. Leonard's positioning for the goal poor, but the finish was good, so you have to commend it. But I thought it was a really poor goal to concede for me.
Cheeky git.
we should try that one. But listen, Win's causing a ruckus in the chat, boy.
Wait, Win's causing trouble.
Liam said Murphy went near post earlier. Leno second guessing. But listen, obviously, I think Pope had to make one or two saves at 1-0. One he punched away, I believe, which he should have probably punched further away from goal and stuff. But Murphy had that second opportunity, right? And like you said, just when he has time to think, he don't know what to do. He panics because that was, like Win said earlier, that was arguably an easier chance than one. Good move, by the way. Good through ball, the first time ball from Anthony Gordon. He's gone through and he just hit it without trying to aim it. He just hit it straight at the keeper and hoping that he can get hitting and hoping. He should have taken. I think he could have gone round the keeper. If he'd taken another touch, could have gone round him, whatever.
Around him.
But he
not many people try to chip above, like the little lift in it, the little Danny Welbeck lift, like he done against us. But
he did that earlier. Remember the Steve Bruce era when he's gone through 1-on-1 and he tried to chip and then
against Watford, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Watford, yeah.
And then
I remember that.
Scored a worldie in that game, weirdly enough.
But yeah, from when that happened, I thought, you know what, we're gonna get punished. But it wasn't to be in the first half. Obviously, Fulham grew into it after that, but we went in 1-0. Fulham then made the changes. I think did Kevin come in at halftime? Was it halftime?
Yeah, Kevin came on halftime. Yeah,
came at halftime, and he made all the difference. To be fair, was it him that put the ball over? The initial ball over to Jimenez.
In the second half you're talking about?
Yeah, the goal that came.
Yeah. That was from Kevin's cross. Yeah, Kevin's cross.
What a hit by Jimenez, by the way, off the bar. Yeah.
Oh, it's a good save. I think Pope got a hand to it. To be fair, so it's a pretty good save from Nick Pope. Let's commend that as well. Very good save.
A good Is it? What's the guy's name? Is it Lukic?
Such a Lukic, yeah. Good. Right place, right time for him. So that's I think that's his first goal for the season, second ever for Fulham. So he done well to get there.
Yeah, contested header with Sven Botman. Obviously, Botman got injured. They both bit of blood and that, but Botman came off worse and he had to come off. Luckily, apparently, it's just a knock to the head, no concussion protocol and that. But at 1-1, what do you think about the goal conceded, Jefferson? What were your thoughts at 1-1?
It's frustrating. It's enough to make you want to smash your phone because you just think, it's we've done well the first half to an extent. If anything, you kind of want to stabilize the lead. So to then concede in that manner, because I know it took, to be fair, Thiaw was unlucky because it took a little nick off his leg. But for me, Trippier is the one to blame. Yeah. So Gary, you'll be pleased to hear me tucking into Trippier. He's saying to, I think it was Miley. Was it Miley he was saying to? He was pointing, saying, go to him. It's like, what are you talking about? It's your man. Plus, you're the closest player to the guy. And then you let him get the cross in. You don't even get your body in the way to block it. So for me, Trippier could have stopped that cross. So he's the one I'm looking at. Obviously, like I say, Thiaw tries to get a little something on it. I reckon if you got a full connection, it would have maybe gone out for a corner. But yeah, Fulham did well to capitalise on that. It's just very, very frustrating when you see goals conceded like that.
Just go back to some of these comments. Mikey said Voltemada missed a few close range chances at Stuttgart. He's an elite forward who can play as a 10. And like I said, yeah, when Visser comes back, it's going to be interesting to see how he's deployed in that team. Is he going to rotate them or is he going to play them together? Be interesting. Bulky said Murphy has to be first choice right wing now. I think he is, to be fair, but I think, like Eddie said, he's still nursing his cruciate injury that he had. So he's trying to manage his minutes and stuff. So I think you might see him chopping and changing for the next few games and then consistently play Murphy once he's fully fit. Big up Flynn, he said not starting Ramsey was odd. Again, we know the injury issues that he's had in the past. Maybe Eddie's thinking maybe don't want to overload him too quickly, too soon, and that, too much too soon. Liam said, think missed chances took the wind out of ourselves for the last 10 minutes of the half. Bruno's head went west for a while, overthinking with the header.
I noticed that, yeah.
Win, City's not giving up. He said, Charles unlucky, but Big Dan Burn is useless.
Come on, we never said he was useless. It's just that he struggles against pace, which he does.
Yeah. He's not a natural left back. Listen, he's doing a job that's asked of him, and commend him for that. He's been thrown back to that position. What's going to be interesting though is
when Hall comes back.
Right, when Lewis Hall comes back, what does he do with Dan Burn?
He has to be gone.
Yeah, but the thing is, we've had this discussion about Eddie Howe wanted Dan Burn to get this World Cup place and his loyalty to his players and stuff. Does he dare drop Dan Burn, or does he dare drop the best centre back pairing that we have?
Well, now the other one will be, now that he's got his favourite Share in. What will it take for Share to come out and for Botman to come back in? I do wonder if he'll put Botman back in.
I think Botman will come back for the next league game. I think Share was always going to start the Spurs game, and I think Botman will come back in the league game. But we'll see. We'll see. Our regular down at NUFC Truth Big Out said, Jefferson, why do Newcastle fans overhype players? Yes, Baltimore has had a great start, but 15 goals before he came here in his career does that mean that Wissett is world class? Listen, what we say,
of course, isn't it?
Good point.
No, listen, Voltemada had a very good start to the season at Newcastle, and let's be honest, a lot of it is to do with the fact that the Isak situation and the fact that Isak's flopping as well. That's why Newcastle fans are rejoicing, right? But no one expected Voltemada to start the way he did, and he's doing well. So you have to give credit. Visser, obviously, we have to see what he does when he get here, but we know what he's capable of. But I don't think no one's gassing him like he's the best thing since sliced bread. But at the moment, he's doing a job. He's doing a job, and you can't really complain. But like we just questioned the fact that he's missing these sitters. Is that a thing that we need to be concerned about? So we are trying to give a balanced view of it. So, maybe mean Newcastle fans in general, but it is what it is, isn't it?
He's a 9.5, isn't it? And he's not clinical like Isak was clinical, wasn't he? So, yeah, I do think we need to dampen those expectations. I do see what NUFC Truth is talking about. However, I do think as an all-round player, he's a better player, and he is showing his class. He's shown it in spells. But yeah, need to give him time, obviously.
Yeah. Don't forget to smash the likes, people. Smash the likes on your way in, on your way out. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share with your people and that,
Man.
It helps with the algorithm. You know what I mean? Gets the people knowing about the 90's mags. But yeah, carrying on now at 1-1. Like we said, we had the chances to get the second. Was it the first half or the second half that Joe Linton had the header at the back post? That went wide.
That was Guimaraes, I think, had a header.
No. Joe Linton had one before that when he's knocked it down and people thought that he scored. He thought that he scored.
Oh, I think that's second half.
Yeah,
second half then, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the second half.
Yeah.
Unlucky me, but Joe Linton and headers, they don't go together. But Bruno had the Bruno header though. Let's talk about the Bruno header because I think it was Gordon put it on a 6-foot for him and bruv, what was he doing? Did he get too excited? Like, what did he close his eyes? Like, bruv, what happened there?
I think he's tried to work too hard in trying to place it in one of the corners when literally, you just guide it, don't you? Because you can take the pace off it as it hits you. But I think he kind of almost twists his head a bit, and it's like maybe he's got that technique wrong. I don't think it caught him out because he made the perfect run and he was unmarked as well. But
I think he had too much time, to be honest. I think when you're in that much space and the ball is that good, I think there's some players, and I don't know if this is the case with him, but because he normally seems like a cool head, but I just feel like he had way too much time to think about what he wanted to do, what he was trying to do, and I think he just kind of, when the ball came to me, kind of just rushed it a bit rather than just take his time and pick out a corner. He tried to, like as Jeff said, like probably like bend the ball into the back of the net. Whereas if he just places it, it's a guaranteed goal because Leonard's not getting anywhere near it.
Big up Scants in the building. Resident Liverpool
Man, like
fan.
Scants.
He said, "Big up, madam." He said, "I did call 2-1. Yeah, you did. Scants, say a prayer for Scants. He got through a tough time as a Liverpool fan.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming.
Four in a row. Four in a
Let
row.
man catch a breath.
I'm not even. I haven't even gunning them. Like I actually feel genuinely bad for them. Like that product. Listen, Slots on fraud watch at the moment. That's what their Liverpool fans are saying.
It
Like
might be like a Ranieri thing and a Mourinho thing. Like the year after they win the title, like they just end up going. Don't
and
they?
the worst thing could happen. I don't know if you saw the Diary of the CEO podcast with Jurgen Klopp. Yeah, very good watch, by the way. But boy, Liverpool fans are like, Klopp, come back, man. They want him back. Like, it's interesting. It's interesting.
Tough times.
Can I say a little point as well? I forgot to mention about that ball from Gordon in the first half. Obviously, I get on at Gordon a lot, but I thought it was a good ball from him, and I think it's something we've seen him try in the last couple of games, and I think he's got it in that locker, that little reverse ball that he does. It seems to catch people out, and he gets a bit of whip on it. Because like Bruno's passes, even though they're accurate, when he gets it right, they almost. I'm not saying they float along, but
they float.
Yeah. Whereas Gordon's ones kind of just fly. Do you know what I mean? So it catches defenders out. So he's had a bit of success with those. So I would like to see that more of him. So I will commend him on that, but we need to see more. And then going back to Liam's point, he made a good point. It was a good cross because normally Gordon's output from a wide position isn't very good. Obviously, the memorable one was the cross for He Who Shall Not Be Named against Arsenal. But outside of that, on the run, his crossing isn't that good. So commend him on that ball into the box as well.
Yeah, okay. Big up Felice. When Hall is fit, how will drop Chow for Burn? Unfortunately, he could not dare. He couldn't dare. The way Chow's playing at the moment, listen, there'll be riots. But we'll see. But yeah, listen. Obviously, Bruno, like we said, Bruno had the header that he missed, and I don't know about you, but I thought it's another one with drop points, whatever, a game that we should have won. But listen, first of all, Eddie made a few changes. Tonali had come on, who I thought made a difference, by the way, and he had the opportunity. Another one he's tested, wrapped Leno's hands, whatever. But obviously, Asula and Elanga have come on, and we huffed and we've huffed. And let's be honest, the two substitutes had a hand in the goal, right? Because again, a Bassi error, but it was intercepted by Elanga. So, first of all, that shot that he had, Elanga, by the way, that was unlucky, no? That was a good hit.
He's a professional footballer, isn't he? He's got to get the ball on target, innit?
Come on.
Is this what we're coming to?
No.
Cut him some slack, Jeff. Cut him some slack, mate.
Oh my God.
No. I'm not saying. Listen, we've agreed that his performances have not been up to scratch. But that was a very clean, good hit. And unlucky that obviously defender blocked it. It didn't come because if the defender's not there, I think that goes in. Right?
Yeah, it's on target. It's a good strike.
Yeah.
Credit to him to start the move by intercepting the ball from Bassi, and it falls to Asula. No, you give him credit for the work rate there.
What? Yeah, no, of course not. He's done well. He's done well in that. This is what I think his role should be: coming on as a later sub, using his
now.
When the legs are tight. Well, unless Murphy's form significantly drops, because Murphy is producing goals and assists regularly.
No, Murphy is like I said, it's Murphy's spot to lose.
Yeah. I think his role as a squad player as he builds his confidence, but it's good to see him come on and have somewhat of an impact. I do think there's some poor elements that need to be worked on. Like, I think the quality isn't there, and it's still not good enough for someone we've paid £55 million for. But it's good to see some positive instances as well in terms of his.
He'll get there. He's just not there just yet, but he'll get there
bit by bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully he starts against Spurs.
I think
give him more minutes. Give him more minutes. It will
Yeah.
help. Yeah.
Big up, Sophie. Yeah, we are live. Sounds like you tried to log in
Big up.
on time, and we had some technical difficulties, but we are here.
Sorry.
We are here. But yeah, listen, great work from Asula, driving forward. He cut inside, tested Leno, and there is Captain Fantastic to knock in the rebound. I did like the little cheeky barge from Tonali to keep the Fulham defender from getting the ball. But let's talk about Asula though, because listen, you've been screaming for a lot of time for him to get more minutes. We almost did sell him in the summer window. It didn't go through at the last minute, and thankfully so, because he has improved significantly. Now, are we saying it's about time that he gets his chance? Or are we saying, listen, he's been managed well by Eddie to be significantly the improvement that he's making, because he was hella raw when he first started, and he still is to a point, but you can see the change in his game, the maturity. You know what I mean? Like, what's your thoughts on that, Jefferson?
I'm happy to see him as well coming on and making an impact. My complaint has always been that he should have more minutes. He's erratic. He's an enigma. He's got that little something about him. You see that when he goes in a wide position, he feels confident to do the trickery, the step overs, to then cut inside. And because he's ambidextrous and he's two-footed, it makes him more of a threat. He seems a lot more polished. We talked about this with his assist for Barnes in the Champions League. He seems to be a little bit more decisive about what he's doing in front of goal. So this is showing maturity. So I'm sure that this is, again, credit to Eddie, Jason, in terms of what they're doing in training, because we are seeing a growth. However, he does need more minutes. He's showing he's a threat. So I was happy to see that, basically his action led to a winning goal.
Caddy, what were your thoughts about the goal that you lot conceded late on?
I mean, I don't really like conceding goals late on as anyone, but I think from the start to finish, I think Asula did very, very well. Considering where he got the ball from and where he had the shot from, I think that's to able to get that strike, and he's off balance as well, kind of off balance. Pretty good strike, but for me, again, you look back at where the goal came from. Bassi once again dilly-dallies on the ball and then decides to go to Sessegnon, which, if Sessegnon is free, is not a bad pass. The only issue is, if he can't see that Alanga's right next to him, we've got a big problem, because anyone could have seen that, Alanga's right next to you, mate. So you either go back to, who was playing right centre back for us? Go back to Diop or go back to Leno, because he's facing Leno, so don't try to do something awkward. Play it simple. He tries to do something too much, loses the ball. Asula then gets the ball, drives, has a shot. The one thing that annoys me the most, right, is Leno. Okay, if you look back at the replay, there's a replay that's behind the goal, and Leno, right, has the chance to just hold the ball, like literally catch it. Yeah, dive, catch it. If you're not gonna do that, palm it away. He palms it right into danger.
Wide.
Literally just did that. All you have to do is either catch it or palm it wide. He palms it into danger, and what makes it worse is everyone can see Bruno's running into the box, and he stays on the floor. Our keeper sits there, watches Bruno have a shot, and it goes in, and then he blames defenders. No, that's completely on Leno. For me, as a goalkeeper, as someone as experienced as Leno is, he's played for Germany. He's been in World Cup squads. He's played for Arsenal. He's an experienced goalkeeper. You're meant to be a leader for us on the pitch. If Kearney or Anderson aren't on the pitch, but to do that in the last minute, for me, that's costly, and he's cost us already a lot of points this season. And for both goals, I think he should have done better. So it's a good shot from Ursula. No, don't get me wrong, but Leno's save is poor, really poor.
In terms of Asula, Liam said, happy for Asula. He made an impact, but people need to stop hyping him. Craig Hope nailed it. He's like a dog chasing pigeons. I think that's a bit harsh, man. A bit harsh.
It's a little bit, Liam.
Surely we can see the maturity in his game. He's getting better and better each time. I'm not saying he could be the lead guy, because we saw what happened when he started the game against Leeds and stuff. But I actually hope he starts against Spurs in midweek. I hope he gets an opportunity.
Can I say something?
Listen to Sophie. Everyone here to hit the likes. Big up, Sophie. Big up.
Big up Sophie.
Big up Snow
Big up.
Police as well. First, before you go, Curtis, I see Curtis in the building. He said, "Big up, guys. I want to see Asula and Nick together. I think that could work. It's worth a go." Curtis, just before, I don't know if you saw my comment in the last chat before we ended. You said that you went to Forest Hill School in Lewisham. My mum taught there. What year did you go there? Because you might know my mum. She was a deputy head teacher there. Deputy head teacher there. So it'd be interested to know. But yeah, sorry, Jefferson, you was going to ask Kante a question.
I'm going to ask Kante, the run that Asula had, good trickery and ball control. Do you think if he was up against Robinson, that Robinson would have dealt with that situation? Or
I think with Robinson, it would have been harder for Asula to get to where he got to. I still think he would have got there though, because I think with Robinson, he very rarely when he's defending 1-on-1, he if someone's running, let's say from his side to the other side, he very rarely follows because he passes out onto someone like a Bassi who does have a good connection, or like a Diop. So I think it would have been harder for Asula to get to where he got to, but I think with Jedi in the team, it still would have happened.
Okay.
I see a comment from Sophia, selling 40 million in my opinion. Are you talking about Asula? Because I was going to ask, we got it for like 12 to 15, whatever. What, Justin, how much do you think he's worth? Do you think that's a good fair price for him?
I mean, it's by modern rates, isn't it? The young players have significant value. We saw that he had a good summer with the under 21 Euros for Denmark, so that will push his value up. And then he's managed to get a few goals this season. So yeah, I think the going rate is anything between 30 or 40 million for someone of his age, young prospect. And I think was it Leverkusen? It was Leverkusen.
Yes, yeah, I think it was.
Yeah,
yeah.
30, we were going to sell him for 35, I think. It was either 32 or 35. So I think Sophie's about right, to be honest with you.
Okay. In terms of performances now, who was your man of the match, Jefferson?
I mean, again, TR runs close. You know what? Again, Murphy's had a significant impact, but I think his personality is someone who's very much a supplier. So even though I think Liam was right and Bruno lost his way a little bit, it is Royal the Rovers stuff when the captain pops up with the winning goal and he is imposing his personality as every game goes by. I think he is very much showing he is the leader. So I would give it to Bruno on that basis. A very tough, gritty game, but ultimately he was the difference maker.
Just quick, NUFC truth. I'm going to show you a question, but I'm not really going to address it because we'll be here all day. Like we have this conversation almost every pod. Like it's, we're not going to do that for now. Yeah, but big up anyway.
Stick with us, NUFC truth. Yeah. I have told D-Man, if shit goes south again, anyone that's watched the channel, when we get serious, he does not want to be saved. And no excuses. So
we will have
we'll be coming to them if it pops off.
So say hang tight, man. Hang tight. Your time's coming, man. Your time's coming. Yeah, but we're not going to do that on the back of a win. That's what we're not going to do. But Win says as soon as improving, no doubt. Get 30 million off Frankfurt, 70 million for Anthony Gordon, and buy Semenyo with change to spare. Interesting.
Wow.
Interesting.
I love Semenyo. Obviously, I'm Ghanaian, so I'm biased, but I would love Semenyo. He's a heck of a player.
Curtis, but then you should know my mum then. I'm not going to give away the surname, but she was deputy head there, head of Shackleton at one point as well, and she's a science teacher as well, so you probably know her anyway. But Sophie's not a fan of Asula, boy.
Old back. She's like the female Kelvin, innit? Just like, bang, there it is.
Big up Stephen in the building. He said, if you sell Asula, get a buyback clause in. Yeah. Stephen, what were your thoughts on the game, man? I want to know what your thoughts on the game. Curtis, is Mrs. B, yeah? Mrs. B, that's all I'll say. Mrs. B, innit? Yeah, you should know her. But yeah, listen, you said Chow was the man of the match, and who else?
Bruno. I don't know if I was getting emotional there, but I've given it to the captain, I think.
For those in the chat, let us know who was your man of the match, because I'd say Malek Chow. Another very good performance, solid performance. Bruno, good shout, I think, maybe for his goal and his endeavour. Listen, if you started it, probably Tonali, because Tonali came on and played very well. But yeah, interesting. Kante, what were your thoughts on your best performing player? To say, I know it's hard to take in a defeat, but who do you think showed any sort of credibility?
It's not really hard. It's the answer's Kevin. I think, and it's not that difficult of a question, really. He's by far our best player when he's on the pitch, and Marco never seems to start him because he wants to start people that are tried and tested, rather than give a young guy like Kevin a chance in the Premier League to start in a game where we need to win. All right, because we've lost 4 games in a row now. We are 17th in the Premier League. We need to win games, so you start your best players. So Kevin, for me, best player on the pitch. And for once, and I've been saying it to Jefferson for 2 years, if Marco makes halftime substitutions, then we can talk about getting back into the game. And look what happened when Kevin came on. He didn't wait late. He brought him on at halftime, and we got a goal back thanks to Kevin. So for me, Kevin. Everyone else, I thought was pretty rubbish, to be fair. So I think Kevin's the only answer. If I had to pick one from Newcastle, I'd say Asula, because I think without him on the pitch, I don't think you get the second goal for me. And I thought he did really good when he came on.
Interesting, because Sophie says ciao. Mikey P said agrees. He said Asula stole the show. If it wasn't him, we don't win the game. Flynn said ciao. Mighty went to Bruno. Wokey, I know you're tongue in cheek. Bird Hunt said man of the match.
Can Kevin play on the right, Kante?
I mean, he's a left winger, so I want to see him on the left because I think when Chukwueze's fit, then you put Chukwueze on the right and Kevin on the left. But I don't mind him playing on the right. I think it's something that we obviously we need to get points and you have to look at, because I don't think Adama is up for it anymore. I think he's past it.
Am I right in saying that you've lost the last 4 in a row?
Yep. Thanks for reminding me, mate.
No, you're not alone. You're not alone. There's certain.
Oh no, I know Liverpool. Yeah, I know they're struggling as well. So I've got my eye on them, but it gets to a point where, as a Fulham fan, I shouldn't be having to watch Wolves versus Burnley on a Saturday to see who picks up points, and I did. So,
Wait, Burnley are on your are Burnley above you now?
Yeah, we're 17th, bro.
Oh, wow.
3 points off the drop.
And there's that glass half empty, glass half full. I think a few people have made those comments, which I think we'll talk about before we leave in terms of where we're at right now.
Stop sounding off third. It don't matter, bro. Don't worry about that. Steven said we were ropey, not convincing except for the first 10 minutes and the last 25. A better team would have done us.
That's fair.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Sophie's not having it with the Sula team.
Sorry, Sophie.
You know the thing, you know the vibes.
Connor's not impressed with Trippier. He said, I don't remember him at all. He done F-all. Fair enough. But listen. So we got the 3 points. Where are we now? Where are we now in the league? 12th? Is it 12th?
12th, I think. Yeah.
12th now, yeah.
Okay, so Jefferson, do you think, because we said that obviously the next 3 games are pivotal, and we've got the Benfica out the way, we've got Fulham out the way, then we've got Spurs next. But in terms of the league now, do you think this will be a result to kickstart our league season? Or is it just the same old Newcastle? We don't know yet. Nothing's there to convince you yet.
Yeah, I mean, despite there being a couple of encouraging and positive things that we've seen across the last couple of games, which I think we've talked about already, I think we're very much on an even kill and slightly still below par from where we're expecting our performance level. I personally see us as a top 6 side right now. So we're in a false position, arguably, although we kind of deserve to be where we're at now because we haven't played well. 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses. I mean, some people might be all right with that. I'm not. And when you look at those 3 wins, they've come against 17th, 20th and 18th teams in the league. So the wins are, not the best wins. They've not come against the strongest teams. So tougher tests ahead. And then, even if we look at the other competitions in terms of who we won, it flatters the deceiver a little bit. So I think it's a case of 1 game at a time. Let's not get carried away. But listen, we're playing ugly and getting the points in. So I just want us to improve because right now I'm not happy with the football in general. You know, we've seen better football. Um, so I'm just hoping there's a bit more to inspire us really as we move on. But listen, we said it. We said like in the more imminent future, we needed those 3 games,
Mm.
and it looks like he's getting the wins in those games. So yeah, we need to take it in patches.
Just quickly, is it the draws that are a bit more frustrating? Because obviously we've lost to Liverpool and Arsenal, obviously Brighton, but is it more the draws that's been frustrating in terms of where we are, the 3-3-3?
I think it's the you know that lack of quality in the key moments, and I feel like we don't have a ruthlessness about us. There is in certain individuals. You look at Joe Linton in the way he obviously goes into challenges. You look at Tonali's endeavour through a game. Bruno, you know, there is some good qualities in individuals. Tiao quietly goes about his business, but he's also very robust, physical in the challenge. But I feel like we are soft in bits, that we aren't killers. And I don't know, and I'm not like, it's not a personal thing. I'm just saying Eddie's a very nice guy. So I don't know if that transmits from the manager. I think we need that little bit of bite. We need to be a shark that has some teeth, and a part of that is being clinical and taking the chances. I think we're very fortunate to come away with 3 points. That kind of thing can't continue, particularly against the better opposition and the tougher tests to come.
Okay, interesting quote from Liam. He said, "Last Christmas we were 5-5-5. Bar City, we've got a good run coming." And I think that will be the interest to see how we go leading up to Christmas. The next few games that we have, like I said, Bar City, we should be hoping to take wins from those. I agree. It hasn't been the best start to the season. It hasn't been the most convincing in the league. The cup, I'm just gonna say, I think it's been good. Yeah, you get what you're up against. You have to beat what you're up against, and we've done the job, and we've looked better in the cups as well with the performance as well, the level of performance. You could argue yesterday the Premier League opposition is a lot trickier. I personally am disappointed with the draws that we've got. The Leeds draw, Bournemouth. Okay, away home for Bournemouth is not a bad result. But it's the Leeds one that really done it for me. Who was the other draw that we did? Who was the other draw?
Villa.
Villa away, I don't really have too much about, because before going into that game, we thought a lot of people thought we were going to lose. Yes, the way the game went, we should have arguably taken 3 points. But yeah, like I said, the football hasn't been great. The wins, obviously, none of the wins have been really convincing. So we have to step up another couple gears. But on the flip side, there is a bit of balance where we are balancing midweek football every week. So maybe we can't go gung-ho, we can't blow teams away at this present time, but the performance have to improve. And hopefully, I know I've said it before, but when the injured players come back, we see a significant improvement. How rotates the team more. But there's like people saying, when the fullbacks are back, it changes the way we play. So, and not to mention Wissa when he comes back up to speed, because obviously it's going to take a while to get up to speed. But hopefully we'll see a different Newcastle going into that period. The Christmas to New Year. But like I said, we're at the moment, we're a top 6 team. It's a bit unpredictable at the moment. If you look at the league position, who's up there, it's all to play for. It's going to be lots of changes throughout the season. But we'll see. Bulky said it's the results and performances people need to look at. Kante, from an outside looking in, what's your assessment of Newcastle season so far?
I mean, to be fair, with the squad you have, you should be, in my opinion anyway, a lot higher. And I know people give Jefferson a lot of slack for saying, Eddie Howe's not the right man to, take you forward and to let go of, winning a trophy last season. From what I've seen online, not just when I'm watching 90's Mags or other podcasts as well, but online on Twitter or on Instagram, it's always, like, Eddie won us a trophy, give it a bit more time. But there's only so much time you can give someone, if that makes sense. Like, yes, he won you a trophy, so shouldn't that not improve your expectations for your club? Not, stay the same. If my team won a trophy, I'd be like, okay, we should be getting European football, or comfortably getting European football. You lot finally won a trophy, and it still seems like the level of expectation is exactly the same as what it was before the trophy. You'd be within a chance of getting European football, rather than we need to get European football. And I think right now, you look at the start of the season. I think Jeff said it's 3-3-3. That's not good enough. You look at where you have got points, so the wins. Yeah, the two of the three in the bottom three, and a very poor Fulham side who everyone has, counted out that we had injuries. But even the points you got, like Aston Villa should have won, and you played a poor Villa team and didn't. Bournemouth, of course, is not a bad result, because it's away from home, and Bournemouth are a very good side. But there are certain games in which you look at Newcastle, you go, we should be winning convincingly, and you're not. Like the Fulham game, I thought you lot should have won convincingly, and you didn't. So I think for an outside looking in, that would concern me if I was a Newcastle fan, because you're playing teams that you should be beating convincingly, and you're getting the games taken to you. And if you want to be pushing, for Europe, like with clubs like Palace and Bournemouth are thrashing teams. Palace have thrashed teams. You haven't yet. So until I see that happening, I don't see Newcastle as a team that you know could get Champions League, or I think they'll not struggle to get Europa League, but they'll be on the cost of Europa League. And I think you're in that category now of you could definitely get Conference League, but if you look at the season that Bournemouth have had, you can't say they've got a better squad than you, because they haven't. So I think you lot should have had a lot more points and should have blown a lot more teams away.
That's fair. That's fair. I will say it's a long season, because there was a period when Bournemouth and that was above us last season, and they all finished below us. But like you said, they are performing well. Bournemouth, especially, are slapping teams. I'm not sure about Palace, but Palace were playing well. I think the Sunday is going to catch up with Palace. But I agree. We should be higher than we are. We should be higher than we are, and we should be performing better than we are. Let's see what happens in the next few weeks. But no, that's an interesting take. NUFC Truth said, D-Man right now would forfeit the domestic cups to give us a chance to get our fitness and form up.
I agree.
Well, you talk about the League Cup then, because obviously the FA Cup doesn't start till January. So we don't know where we're going to be in the Champions League in Europe at that time. But personally, listen, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we beat Spurs, then we're into the quarterfinal, no?
I think so. I think, this is the last
Yeah, I
game.
mean, when you get to the stage, I don't think you can forfeit it, man, because you beat.
No, I think I know what he means. I don't think he means forfeit. I think he means make the changes in terms of rest your strongest team that are gonna play in the Premier League and in the Champions League.
But he's been doing that, no?
Utilize the squad.
Has he not been doing-
To be honest, the last game was so long ago, I can't even remember now.
Yeah, I
I
think
can't remember how many changes we made, but I'm sure he played. Didn't he play Toon Army? And because
he played one of them. He did play Tonali and Bruno. I think he played one or the
both,
other.
no?
Or Joe Linton was on the bench. Or Joe Linton wasn't there. Because Miley played, I think. Miley played in the last round. He started. Who did he play in the last round?
He played a stronger team against Bradford, wasn't it? And it was a bit like,
Bradford, Lewis Hall was there in Bradford. Miley was there. Ramsdale was there. He played a semi-strong, but he rotated. I think he rotated a bit. So listen, we'll see, innit? We'll see. But I don't think he'll play the same lineup that he played at the weekend against Spurs. I think he will make a few changes. I think Ramsey will come in. Ramsdale will come in. Asuda will probably come in. With the backline, he's quite limited, isn't he? Like, unless you can bring Kraft in, but
you play Emil Kraft. You got Alex Murphy there. These guys need senior games.
I don't think Alex Murphy can be starting against Spurs. I just don't.
Why?
Maybe start FA Cup third round, start him then. Like, I don't think when a quarterfinal place is at stake, I don't think you can play Alex Murphy, man. I just don't.
I mean, it's not like I get it if we threw in Leo Shaha. I totally get it because he hasn't played, but Alex Murphy has played for the first team and he's trained with the first team for about 2 seasons now, I think.
Yeah.
He looked a bright spark in the pre-season games as well. It just depends whether you play him left back or centre back. I think you can play him left back. I think left back is a safer place to play him than centre back. But I do think we need to utilise the squad and just keep players fresh, because you just never know with the Champions League. Villa got to the quarterfinals. There's no reason we can't. I know Liam's saying we can't win it. I agree, we can't win it, but we want to get as far as we can because we need the revenue. We want to boost the image of the club. And we know that the Premier League is our bread and butter, and actually we want to get to the Champions League again. So if we end up with injuries and suspensions because we've been overutilising players in the Cups, what's the point? So I agree with NUFC Truth. I do see his point.
Steve said, our first choice fullbacks returning will make a big difference, and playing trips every game, the man gets gassed. Craft's not used. Why? Like you said, could use ML Craft. Interesting. But yeah, listen, we've got. I'm not trolling here, Kante, but are you in the League Cup? Have you got a game midweek?
Yeah, we got Wickham
Okay, home or away?
away.
Ooh,
Oh, you're through then.
ooh,
Don't say that, mate. The way we're going at the moment, trust me, mate. I ain't watching, so yeah, I don't know.
But this is
I think we will go through, but
yeah, and then once you get to the quarterfinal, it could be any. You get a good draw. You never know. You never know. Jeff said, obviously we've got the Spurs game on Wednesday. I will be going, taking my son. He's here. He won't stop talking about it, but he's very excited.
Sick.
His first competitive Newcastle game that we're going to see.
Sick.
What's your thoughts on that one? Are you confident going into? I know Spurs beat Everton today, right?
Yeah, 3-0. I think it was
3-0.
I think it was 3-0.
Oh right.
yeah, 3-0 Spurs. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll stop that 1-0, bro.
I mean, they've got a squad as well. We know about their manager. Got a lot of admiration for their manager as well. It won't be an easy game, but we are at home, and like you said, I think we have been better in the cup competitions. Wouldn't surprise me if actually Eddie does make some changes, but if the result isn't positive or he thinks there's a chance winning, then he might bring on some first teamers to like try push for the win. So listen, I am quietly confident, but no disrespect. Like if we go out, I kind of don't care. I'm a bit like we've got nothing to prove. We've won the cup now. Like it is what it is, isn't it? If we go through, great, fantastic. If we go out, I'm like, cool. We can keep the players fresh for the Premier League, the Champions League, and we got the FA Cup to come. So I actually think we're in a good position here now. I think this is the difference between this season and last season. When you win the trophy, the pressure. The pressure increases in certain ways because of expectations of elevating yourself. But in certain ways, it's like the monkey's off our back. Like we've kind of done it. It's not like we must do it. We got to break our duck. So yeah, I don't know. What do you make of it? What do you think?
Listen, obviously, I hope that we win. I hope that my son gets to see a victory, because last time we went up there, we saw the Atletico Madrid, the Sela Cup game, and obviously we lost and stuff. And my son remembers everything to a T. Yeah, but listen, I want to see changes. I want to see at least 4 or 5 changes. I want to see a competitive team, though. I'm not on this forfeit it, like play some weak team and see what happens. No, I want to see a good lineup, good strong lineup, because I think Spurs will play a decent strength lineup. I think at home, when there's a quarterfinal place at stake, I think you have to go for it. I think it'll be an entertaining game. What will be interesting is how we play with Ramsdale in goal again. We play a little bit different, but obviously I expect Fabian Schär to start. Bird at left back again. Surely we can try something different there. But I'm confident we could get the job done. I don't think it's going to be easy. But yeah, I don't see why we can't go through to the next round. Main thing is, as long as we come out there with no injuries, that's the thing for me. So we'll see. Those in the chat, what's your expectations for the game? Are you expecting a win? Do you want to see a lot of changes, or do you think we should go strong? Like, let us know. Let us know. Question for you, Kante. Flynn says, do you think Silva will leave after this season?
Well, I sure do hope so. For those in the chat that don't know, I get a lot of hate for this. I'm actually Marco Silva out. I think it sounds weird because people will look at us and go, but it's a club like Fulham, no expectations, you don't win anything, which is fair enough. You can say that, but we've been in the Premier League, I think it's now 3 consecutive seasons. And, the first season, the goal was to stay up. And we did comfortably. We got 10th. This goal after that would be to get top 10. We've already done that in the first season. So then in the second season, you could reasonably go, okay, get top 10 again, maybe push for Europe. We didn't finish top 10. Last season, we were in that European category where teams were like, oh, Fulham could get Europe if teams, do slip down the table. Fulham could be in that, talking point of European football. And I remember I said to, I was playing football, and I said to someone I met there, and he was like, I reckon Fulham could get European football. And I went, the way we play is one-dimensional. He only knows how to play one certain type of way. It's 4-2-3-1. Get it out wide to the byline. Get the balls into the box to the strikers. And when that doesn't work, there's no plan B there. And this season, Fulham fans, myself included, went into this season and said, we need to strengthen on the wings. We need direct wingers, which is why we've got Kevin and Chukwueze. We need to get a third striker. So if Muniz is injured or Jimenez is injured, we have someone there that can replace them. And I said we need to get another centre back because Anderson will be a big problem. And what we've seen this season is Anderson is a big problem because when teams play Fulham and Anderson plays, it's ping the ball past Anderson over him because he's so slow that if you have someone with a bit of pace, it's an easy win. We signed Kevin and Chukwueze, direct wingers. They won't play. Marco didn't want Kevin. Marco didn't want Chukwueze, so he won't play them. We signed Jonah Kusiasare on loan from Bayern Munich, is the third choice striker, 18 years old, and Marco constantly says he's not ready for the Premier League. Now, I get what you mean by that. He's a young guy and, he needs his chance first. But if you look at what Newcastle have done with Lewis Miley, they weren't saying he weren't ready for the Premier League. They were giving him minutes and then they judged him based on the minutes he's played. Now, if I'm a manager of a football club and I'm basing it off training and I'm saying, well, if this guy's not ready for the Premier League of training, in my opinion, not a good enough manager to manage a football club. You can't say no one's ready for something if they don't get given a chance. And against you lot, he came on, but Marco put him as a centre mid. He's a striker. So again, when we make substitutions in games, it's the same formation. They're like for like subs, and it's getting boring. And the position we're in now, 17th, we're at 3 points off safety. There's a real chance now that he does get sacked, which I want to happen. And I think we're better off without him. And I think regardless, if he doesn't get sacked, I think he will walk at the end of the season. And when he joins another team, it'll be a team like Fulham that are in and around mid-table. And then you'll see the same problems. It'll be mid-table, relegation battle. And Fulham fans need to accept that that's what we are now. We're a relegation battle team because the manager isn't good enough to take us up the league.
Okay. Tell us how you really feel, but no, I hear you. I hear it. Big up Specs in the building. Jefferson said it's a cup period. We have to care. Yeah, he said big up yourself. I think Wynn said something similar. The football's about winning cups. Stevens about Emil Kraft said if you aren't or won't play Kraft, then a contract extension is pointless. Interesting. Liam said I hope Kudus is rested. Yeah, he could cause a lot of problems. Sophie's asking Specs to jump on. I don't think Specs is in the position to jump on at the moment, but big up Specs.
Big up.
I like Win says smash the likes on your way out as well. So interesting. But listen,
D-Man, would you say after hearing from Kante, did any of that stuff sort of sound kind of familiar?
Yeah, he's you reincarnated, bruv. That probably he's you.
Those situations sound kind of familiar.
Listen,
for real.
we're not gonna get on to Eddie today, bruv. Listen,
I'm not getting on it. I'm just saying, does it sound familiar?
No, it does sound familiar. But like I said, Woki raised a good point. Sophie, yeah, you need to jump on at some point, man. Need to have you on. It'll be a pleasure to
when the
get
black
you
t-shirt is on, that's when you lot know it's serious. So right now it's cool. Yeah, man's in positive but realistic vibes. Yeah,
But Sophie, when you coming on, man, switch it up a little bit. Bring some much needed chat because I see you in the chat just going off.
Yeah.
Oh my days, she goes, Pokey, I will destroy you. Oh my days. Wowzers.
Wow. Sounds like a challenge. But it is what it is. But now listen, thank you all for staying with us after the technical difficulties that we had. Hopefully that's the end of it. You won't see that again. This quote from Stephen S. To all Liverpool fans, so they see no refunds. Interested. One day we'll talk about him and that guy and his
Stephen's on fire.
He's flopping at the moment. But now, thank you all for joining. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We appreciate you staying with us through this difficult time that we've had today. Hope you enjoyed. And we should be back to review the Spurs game. Like I said, I will be up in Newcastle If you're there, give me a shout. I'll come say hello. But hopefully we call towards the end of the week to review this game, and then we're back obviously on Sunday to review the. Is it away to West Ham next in the league?
West Ham, yeah, in the league, 2nd November away.
Okay. Kante, thank you for joining as usual. Much appreciated.
No problem, man. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. And to all those in the chat,
don't forget as well, NUFC Talk TV.
Yes.
Make sure you tune in.
Tune in daily. Yeah.
Some good content. Obviously, it's a lot better when we're there. We know that. Come on now.
We know. But no, big up everyone.
They're doing good stuff over there. So make sure you tune in.
Yeah. Until next time, we're out. Peace.
Peace, lads.